Have Voch Lambardi on for this conversation, and it was a great conversation. We talked about the offensive line. We talked about why Nate Thomas really is getting the look he's getting. So Voch dropped some great nuggets about that. Obviously, we know what's going on in the community with the whole Micah Parsons contract. We touched on it, but you guys know us. We don't want to delve in drama and stay there for an hour show. Like, not on this channel, not on his channel. So, but I will say, Voch dropped a great nugget on that as well. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. Quick kind of housekeeping note. There was a little pixelation towards the end. The recording got a little goofy, but the audio sounded clean. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Again, Voch went out there, he did the work, and he really gave some great nuggets about the offensive line and why this offensive line can be really a strength of this football team. Enjoy. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Foots the King. As always, thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. I got a superstar with me today, and no intro. We're going to get right to it. Voch, I don't even want to spend more than 3 minutes on the Micah Parsons situation, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about it. Now, Voch and Foots built our channels off football, right? And I'm going to say that I didn't build my channel off drama. I don't care who sees this and takes it a certain way. This is Foots telling y'all, I don't care. I don't care about the drama. I know we have to address it. And we're at that place now, Voch, where people want our opinions on everything. But we made our names in this as football people, as draft people, as going out there on limbs about how these guys play football. Voch, where are you at with this whole situation?
For showing up late to the podcast.
I am.
I ain't get a chance to moisturize this morning because I thought Foots was going to be on time. Because normally I moisturize before I get on camera. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, let me be on time because Foots is going to be on time. Shit, I should have moisturized. But I should have.
Especially because this is gonna be one of them ones.
And then it normally takes time because look, I got to rub circular upward. You know what I mean? So it's such a different kind of technique I got to work with. But it's all good. I disagree, brother Brad. I don't think we have to talk about this at all. I've built quite the following.
Quite 100K, by the way.
100K subs, bless y'all, appreciate y'all. I've built quite the following, and I've dodged nonsense the whole way. I think that's what I'm most proud of. You know what I mean? Because I noticed early in my career, if I wanted to BS the system, Foots, I know how to BS the system. I know what to put in these titles. I know what go crazy. And sometimes the integrity of it hurt my spirit because the video of me breaking down Amari Cooper running a slant 5 different ways didn't do as good as me making fun of Eagle Shirley or something. Right? I know what get the views, Foots the King, but that ain't what I built my audience on. I build my audience on information. Some of my highest rated views are informative. They're film sessions. You know what I'm saying? So when you say, man, Voch, we at a point in our career, we at a status or we're at a level of visibility where we got to touch on it. I don't think we do, Mr. King, because I think us touching on it is kind of the plan.
Yeah.
I think us touching on it is kind of the plan. You know, so I'm going to give a lot of attention to the great things that are happening at camp. For example, Foots, when you're covering training camp, right? It's easy to get a following covering George Pickens, like just watching the Dak and George Pickens CD catches. Voch said, I'm going to cover the offensive line.
And that's why I got you here.
Because y'all asses do got questions about this offensive line. Don't act like y'all ain't got questions. And my videos went just as big as it would have been if I would have been covering, if I would have been covering George Pickens like everybody else was.
Yeah.
Or if I would have been, first, there's people on the internet that get views from counting Dak Prescott interceptions at training camp. I like to keep my spirit intact. So we know what's going on. Micah's not going anywhere. One, contractually, he's not going anywhere. I got a source that said that Steven say he ain't going nowhere. Steven ain't trading Micah, so that's official. If y'all want a little tidbit from a source of a source, Steven ain't trading Micah.
Now Voch is tapped in, y'all. So if you hearing it, is he gonna he gonna stamp it.
That's official. Sometimes it's my thoughts and opinions. That's official. Steven ain't trading Micah per Voch. And I don't think Micah's missing game checks. He's not missing game checks. I think Micah gets paid before this whole thing is done. The problem that's ridiculous is that we're playing the charades in public, the smear campaign of it, and football's been fun for the Cowboys for the first time in a long.
Can you give me a drop? Give me a drop, Voch. Give me a drop. Yes, bro.
Salute.
Football been fired in a bitch for the past month. And y'all want to do this same thing that we did with Tank, this same thing that we did with Dak, this same thing that we did with CD, this same thing that the Browns did with Myles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? I disagree, Fuzz. We don't have to talk about this.
Let's move on. Voch, you said it. I remember watching Voch's first videos, and he was covering the whole college. We don't got to talk about it, and we're not going to. We gave it that. We got a per Voch out of Voch. That's it. Voch, let's move on to offensive line. So Voch texts me, and when I say Voch is Steph, that's what makes him great. In fact, that's what makes us great. We're gonna say steadfast on what we're gonna do. So while John Machota is getting the highlights of CD Lamb and George Pickens, and we need that, John is a GOAT. Voch is watching the reach blocks, the cutoff blocks, the bully, base blocks, Voch, all the blocks, the footwork, the steps, the GTs, he's down there. He could throw a piece of food at Clayton Adams. He can hear it all, right? He's hearing what they're teaching and talking. Voch, before we talk about the O-line, just talk about the coaching, because you're boots on the ground and you said information. So let's give information. What did you see from the coaching? Because these fans, right? They were tired of last year's coaching, tired of Mike Solari, tired of the old way of doing things. What was different, boots on the ground there, Lombardi?
First of all, it kind of aligns with what we thought that this thing was going to be. I always go back to the Tyler Booker's secret audio when we talked to Jerry and Steven and Will McClay and them. And when he talked to Clayton Adams, I'm talking about Booker now. When I talked to Clayton Adams, he talked to Clayton Adams. He says, Clayton says, yeah, man, we're going to move the line of scrimmage, huh? And Book says, yep, duo and all that shit. Right? Boy, previous administrations, boy, they'll just say we're doing something and then we won't do nothing that looks nothing remotely like that. What I'll say about the Shotty administration, they have been staggering the install stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you've been paying attention to camp days, sometimes they'll come out and they'll mostly run plays that require some type of pulling, counters, powers, traps, whatever. Some other days they'll go, all right, well, we're gonna focus on checking out of the huddle, or we're gonna focus on running to the huddle and making a check and a shift and a motion out of that. Like they're kind of building days, whatever, as they should. But just from an O-line note, they're working on those blocks that are in that system. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen, and look, I watch individual every day. It don't get old to me. I watch individual every single day. And sometimes what these coaches will do, and you'll do it too, because you coach the youth. I've coached in the high school before. Sometimes what you'll do is you'll cover everything to be versatile. The Cowboys haven't covered a whole bunch of everything. They're covering combos every single day and coming off the linebacker. You can watch this on my situation, whatever, Twitter.
So like inside zone blocks.
I feel like duo always been here.
Yeah.
I feel like duo exists in every scheme. I'm old school, Foots, and me and Will still just had this talk. I've had to evolve as football guy because I'm still old football minded. So back in the day, they used to call it CAG and tags, right? Center and guard, tackle and guard combos, right? Now all of a sudden there's a word for it, duo. And I'm hearing people say duo, and I was like, oh, what does that mean? And you will see the center and the guard combo. I said, oh, that's CAG blocking, right?
Yeah.
So I've had to, you know what I mean? I see them run, and you can run duo out of whether it's gap or whether it's zone scheme or whatever. It's all combo into the backer, right? But there's emphasis on combo into the backer. They're constantly combo into the backer. There's note of, hey, be sure you take this angle to get to the backer. And then when they go and run 11 on 11s all day, because they don't run hull foots, they ain't just do a whole bunch of one-on-ones. When I was there, I think you break it up a little bit. I think I'm breaking up on your side, but it's cool. We good? We straight?
No, we good. The recording's good. Yeah,
I record good. But yeah. It just seems like they're coaching techniques, and then they're going to the 11 on 11s and actually applying it. So that's a good thing.
Voch, it's one of those things where I appreciate you doing this because people have questions, right? Mm-hmm. And one of my questions is, and you text it, and then Guyton goes down. Nate Thomas. Man, is this real, Voch? Because I don't now. When I say real, he skipped. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like you have a better grasp of the O-line lineups than me. I feel like he jumped over Austin Richards. Now, it's been said that Richards wanted to play guard. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he gets a choice, like, brother, you want a team, like, but this Nate Thomas kid. Tell me more.
To the Austin Richards point, that was actually a conversation that was had. You know, he wanted to play guard, and the Cowboys administration was adamant on saying that he's a tackle. You know what I mean? So I don't know if the movement or the trust in Nate had much to do with that, but Austin was the first left tackle out there the first day of practice. Like the first practice, Austin was the first left tackle out there. Just to be clear, the Cowboys don't have a whole bunch of swing players. They got sighted guys. So we ain't got a swing tackle. We just got a backup left and a backup right guy. But practice 2 and on, Nathan Thomas was the guy at left tackle. And then you kind of see Austin moving around a bunch. And I got theories when you see guys moving around a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the offensive line. You don't want people to be that versatile. Like Brock Hoffman can play a lot of positions, but he's playing center for the most part. He's center too for the most part, but he could play a lot of positions. Awesome done play left, right, and he's been the motion 6 block man on the offensive line. So
that's true.
Whenever you see Awesome doing a bunch of moving, Josh Ball playing guard, well, let's go playing a whole bunch of interior. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, but Brian Broad has actually called me. A little name drop. You say, Voch, man, what you think about this Nate Thomas thing? What you really think about them naming Nate Thomas?
Yeah, like I'm at man.
And my thought was maybe they want the more powerful guy. Maybe they're leaning into this power thing for real, and that they really want you to be move the line of scrimmage guy. Now that wouldn't be what Guyton is right now, but Guyton's different. Guyton has a whole tool belt that that would allow him to be a complete player. You know what I'm saying? And let's just be clear too, because people are asking me, well, Voch, is Nate Thomas going to be competing with Guyton for tackle 1? Let's not be silly here. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a guy that was critical of Guyton a year ago. You know what I mean? And I need to see him grow in order for me to feel comfortable here. When I see Tyler Guyton out there, Guyton's whooping everybody not named Donovan, and he's having good fights with Donovan. And that last day he got hurt, he ain't lose a rep to Donovan. It's on my Twitter. You can go. I ain't just making shit up. You can go on my Twitter. Where Guyton is having easy wins, Nate Thomas is having fights, which is fine because I'm glad that Nate Thomas is having fights with starting caliber guys. Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon, people are going to be on the field of that caliber. So it's good to see Nate keep up with those guys, right? But it ain't like Nate got clear wins versus those guys. And now that I think back on it, Austin Richards was having harder times with those guys. Nate was having an easier time with those guys than Austin was. So I guess that's your ranking. Your ranking is going to be Guyton, Nate, Awesome. And Nate's been just fine. Nate's been fitting in, and Nate, like BB, like Tyler Smith, like some of these other guys, kind of has an advantage because built in, he's just a little more powerful. And if you're a little more powerful, the rest can kind of come a little easy.
I say this, Voch. I think people respect what we do because I actually had somebody reach out to me, a Cowboy, and I saw you talking with Guyton. They respect you because you are real. And I feel like if you would have babied the guy in situation, he wouldn't respect. I saw y'all talking. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's why we do what we do. Voch, in closing.
Well, hold on, folks. Don't move on so fast. Don't move on so fast. Tyler Guyton said, hey, man, you do what you do at a very high level, basically, is what he said. And I'm saying this loud because I'm media Voch, and I wouldn't say things loudly unless it was on the record or just whatever on the record. Just I could say, because you can't misquote people now because I'm media Voch. You say, yo, Voch, I seen the work that you do, man. You do a great job. You cover the game, is what he said. You cover the game at a very high level, Voch. And I know doing it for Cowboy media can be difficult sometimes. That's where I actually disagree with it. It's actually easy to cover the Cowboys. There's always so going on. But he said, I know it's hard to cover the Cowboy media sometimes, but what you do specifically with your knowledge of the game, you cover it at a high level. Shots out to you. That's what the end of what he said after I gave my spiel to him when I talked to him or whatever. So, shouts out to TG though, man. Shouts out to TG holding it down for the real content kings.
I feel like you can cover the game respectfully and say a player's not playing well.
But to be fair, I didn't lie. I didn't lie on him. Not. I never lied on Guy. I never lied. When he was bad, he was bad. If I continue to think Guyton was bad while he's going crazy at camp, I look like a fool. I look.
It look like you pushing a narrative.
It like I'm pushing there, but I'm up here videoing with my Meta Ray-Ban glasses and the phone. I'm going, hey man, Guyton going crazy. And some people go in my comments be like, yo, Voch, a year ago you was just saying bad things about Guyton. How goofy are men now, Flip? How goofy are men now? Men. I thought men supposed to have the ability to do that, and it shouldn't be a man-woman thing. But I'm a man, so I'm speaking from a man's perspective.
No, it's goofy.
I thought men should be able to get more information and change their mind, Foots. Where's this whole I'm gonna stand 10 toes down culture come from? Where's this 10 toes down? There's a time and a place to be 10 toes down, but when you get new glaring information, you got to change your stance, right?
Let's talk about Terrence Steele, Voch. When Terrence Steele came in the game, he couldn't block Bradley and I. Now he got an extension. So like the fact that Tyler Guyton and Voch was able to see it in person, Voch gonna tell you if it ain't right. He's sitting right there,
sure,
and it looked fine. So I think that's really cool, Voch. And like you said, we're not so married to our points. We've been doing this a long time, Voch. I'm talking about we didn't cover so many people. I forget. We're not so married to our evaluations that dang, if a guy gets better or grows, we can't come off of that point. So, Voch, thank you for your time, man. I want to ask you one more question. You got 1 minute, Voch? It's literally.
But don't nobody care about Leah Collins, dog. Don't ask me nothing about Leah Collins, bro.
I wasn't gonna ask you. What I was gonna ask you is, Voch, the big three in the middle. Booker, BB, Smith. Do you feel like it's what we wanted it to be?
It says advertised. It says
okay. That's all I wanted to know.
We're not talking about Tyler Smith a whole bunch because he's Teflon. He's fine. He's good to go. BB is rising to the occasion and being what we thought he was going to be. BB's fine. Don't worry about BB at all. If there was a question mark about the interior, it was Booker. Booker's just fine. Don't worry about Booker. And this still gonna be rookie year Booker. Booker next year and the year after that gonna be stupid ridiculous. But year one Booker, bigger than I thought. Like year one Booker is like peanut butter body already. But that comes from playing at Alabama and IMG since you was he been in the best program since he was a baby. Booker is in peanut butter body. Like he's BB size right now. Like BB is in year 2 body. Guyton is in year 2 body. Booker is BB size. Tyler Smith is the perfect specimen out of everybody. Tyler Smith is built lovely. He's built perfectly. I hope we could all strive to be Tyler Smith size on the offensive line. But Booker size-wise comparatively, and it's on my Twitter right now, he's BB size right now. And I think that's an interesting note.
Voch Lambardi, ladies and gentlemen. Voch, enjoy your weekend. Thank you for the amazing coverage. I know that you'll be locked in this week. We're doing all right, and we're coming up on the scrimmage. We're coming up on the preseason game. And I appreciate you for pushing me, bro. All the videos you put out, all the work you do, it makes me want to get better. Even though we're friends, I just appreciate all that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. It's your boy, Foots the King. Let's keep going. Hey, Voch is at 100K. Let's try to get me to 50K. I love y'all. Peace. It's going to happen, Voch. Stay patient, Foot. Stay patient, Foot. Love y'all. Peace.